everyone, and welcome to my update for my A to Z project pan. Originally I was going to do this a couple of weeks ago, and then I thought I was a bit early, and now it's probably a little bit later than I would have liked. But anyway, today hasn't gotten anything like I planned, so it's also a bit later in the night than I was anticipating doing this, but that's okay, so let's get going. For A, got the Avon Smooth Minerals eyeshadow pencil in Pebble. This one's down to 4.44 grams. So I have got some usage on it. It started the year at 4.66 grams. And my goal is 3 grams. Doesn't look like I'm going to get down that far, but it may be that I actually don't know if 3 grams is actually realistic, because I'm thinking that there's probably more weight than to that, even when it's gone. So yeah, it would be nice to get as much as I can done of this, but it doesn't look like that goal is realistic now. I think if I can use up half a gram on this, I'll be doing pretty well. I've used up 0.22 grams, so half a gram seems reasonable for the year. Okay. For B, I've got the bronzer from NYX. This is the light matte one. Bit of something in there. So my goal is to hit pan on this. I don't know how deep this is. You can see there is a bit of a dip happening in there now. I use this most days. Pretty much every time I use a bronzer, I use this. Yeah, continuing to see how I go with this. So currently at 48.55 grams. We started the year at 48.88. So I've used, what's that, about 0.33 grams so far this year. I think this one's about 9 grams to start with. 9.5 grams all up. Yeah, so I don't know how I'll go on that one or not. Haven't quite worked out how deep the pan's likely to be on that one. We'll keep on going. Alrighty, for C. Got the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturiser little sample, which I hardly ever use. This one's currently 16.91 grams. Started off at 18.97 grams this year, and I had used it a bit last year. Be nice to finish this one off by the end of the year if I think to use it. I think it's a possibility. It's just a matter of remembering to use it. I also bought the, what do they call it? The BB cream version of this with the tint to it, which I quite like. So I'm probably using that one a couple of times where I possibly could be using just this one. But I do find that the other one does help a bit with my redness, so I do like that. But yeah, it would be nice to get this done by the end of the year. Alrighty, for D, we've got the Dark Circle Eraser from Maybelline. I think my goal was to get it down to here somewhere. I'm really bad at remembering to use this, but I have made some progress because it started the year up into the red bit, and it's now down to about there. So we're currently at 24.97 grams. Started off the year at 25.25. So I've used about 1/4 of a gram, so I should have about 1/2 of a gram done by the end of the year. But it would be nice if I could see some real progress on this. I just don't always remember to use it, or I run out of time, and if I run out of time, it's something I tend to skip. For E, I've got this 11 Miracle Hair Treatment. This one's currently 143.91 grams. Started off at 145.87 grams. So I have used almost 2 grams of this, which isn't too bad considering I only use it after I wash my hair, and even then half the time I forget. I think my original goal was to get it down here, and it's actually about there at the moment. It's hard to see through the packaging, but I reckon that when I held the torch up to it, it is about here actually, so I'm actually getting through this one probably quicker than I thought I would, considering how little I've actually used it. So that's kind of cool. Be glad to get this out of my collection. It probably won't happen this year, but yeah, it looks like it's I shall get a bit of use out of it. So we'll see how we go. For F, I've got the Fix Plus, and my goal is to use up 20 grams of this throughout the year. It doesn't look like I remembered to weigh this, so let's do that quickly. I have some little sample ones I'm trying to use up. They are usually what live in my bag, and so far this year I've used up 4 of those. I've got another one that's getting fairly close. So this one is now 116.08 grams. So we started the year 121.95. So I have used up about 5 grams of that one. Actually more than 5 grams of that one. So I used up a good chunk of that one. And I've sort of been using that one a bit more recently over my little sample ones too. The current sample I've got has got just a little bit in it, so that one should be gone by next update. But I've been a bit slack on using that one lately. For G, I've got the Glimmer Sticks in Mocha Flash. This one, the weight hasn't changed for a while. It's still 4.16 grams. Not an awful lot left, about 1.2 centimetres. It started off at 1.3 centimetres, so I've used a millimetre. So it's a little bit disappointing how slow this is going. I would really like to get it used up, which, considering there's not much there, you'd think would be easy, but this one is a fairly stiff one, and it is fairly old, so it's probably not the easiest thing in the world to use, but I'd really like to get as much of it done as I can. For H, I've got the Happy Booster Blush from Physicians Formula, and my goal is to have half the pan cleared on this one. Has been repressed a couple of times, and as you can see, I'm actually making pretty good progress on that. And I think that getting half of that pan clear by the end of the year is quite a feasible task. Weight-wise, it's now 43.87 grams. Started off the year at 44.62 grams, so I have actually used nearly a couple of grams of that one. I think this one started off at 7, so not actually doing too badly on that one, and I think that I might actually be able to hit my goal on that one by the end of the year. Okay, for I, I've got the In the Gallery quad from MAC, and I actually reached my goal on that. This one, which was to hit pan in all shades. Various amounts of pan in all of them. This one was the last one I was waiting to hit pan on, which I did about a month ago. So around about the 15th of June. And I've actually been playing around with trying to repress this one because the formula is really stiff, and I tried putting some glycerin in to hydrate it, and sort of scraping it down and repressing it. I don't think the glycerin worked very well, but I just can't bring myself to crush up the whole pan and repress the whole thing, so I'm sort of doing it in bits, which is why that one looks pretty ugly. But I did actually manage to hit my goal, hitting pan in all 4 shades. It's just not that easy to see on the white one. The light, this one was the last one, so that one's done now. So that's pretty exciting to have pan on all 4 of that. Makes me feel like I've actually achieved something with it. For J, I've got the Just Unforgettable Sheer Passion body spray. This one's more of a summer fragrance, so I haven't really used any. Currently on 133.08 grams, started 144.76 grams. So I've used, what's that, over 11.5 grams of that. So when it starts getting a bit warmer again, we'll start back on that one and see how we go. Be nice to get it done. I don't know if I will. I think my goal was to get it to the bottom of the writing there, which if I use it consistently, I think is a possibility. For K, I finished that one in May, or reached the goal in May, which in that case was finished up in May. For L, I've got this lip butter in dark chocolate and cherry from Palmer's. This one really doesn't feel like there's much left. I really have to squeeze right down to get any out. It's currently at 7.2 grams, started off at 8.98 grams. So I've used over 1.5 grams of this one, and I think it's something that I can get done by the end of the year. I just need to remember to use it when I think about it, because the package is actually split. This one just tends to sit at home because I don't want to carry it around with me and have it getting oily all over everything. But I do think that I should be able to get it done by the end of the year. For M, I've got the Maple Taffy Lip Balm from Lush. This one's down to 8.42 grams. Started off at 10.72 grams, and my goal in this is to hit pan. I have been taking it down from the sides a lot lately, so there's a really nice big dip in there, but I haven't really been focusing right in the middle. If we get to about October and it's starting to look like I haven't hit pan, I may change my strategy on this and target more in the middle, but for now working it down from the sides, and I still think it's a possibility to reach the goal even without jabbing too hard in the middle. This one sits in my bag, but particularly at the moment, it's not one that I reach for all the time. I've got stick ones that I tend to reach for a bit more regularly, just because this one's in a pot. That being said, I do use this one first thing in the morning, and if I think about it, after I've just washed or sanitised my hands. So I am still using it, that one as well. For N, I've got the Naturals by Avon hand cream, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot left of this one. Currently at 69.6 grams. Doesn't look like I actually wrote down what it started off on, but I've got a measurement of 90.35, which I think was an update measurement. So even then I've used about 20 grams of this. Should get it done by the end of the year. I've kind of been letting up a bit on this one because it's winter and my hands have been dry, and using my other one in this project, which is a bit of a thicker, more moisturising one. Actually looks like it's settled a bit unevenly. I'm finding that sometimes when I pump it, I don't get a full pump from it, so that's a sign that it's starting to get towards the end of the straw. For O, I've got the old Blue Skies Is Back shower gel. I'm now completely below the bottom of that label because I'm using this one a bit more now. Now we've sort of gone into winter. This one to me is more of a cooler weather scent. Currently at 55.05 grams. Started off at 74.32. So I've used almost 20 grams of this one, which is really good, and I think that I'll come very close to getting this finished. If I don't get it finished, it may be that I end up using it a couple of times as it starts getting warmer, when I usually wouldn't, just to get it done. But yeah, making some really good progress on that one. For P, I've got the Planet Spa hand cream from Avon, which is the other hand cream in this one. It doesn't seem to want to settle very well. It's sort of sitting up there on that side and right down in there on that side. So there's really not a whole lot left in this one. currently at 26.21 grams. Started off at 43.78 grams. So I've used, what's that, used over 15 grams, over 17 grams, so about 17 and a half grams on that one. Using it a bit more now that it's a bit cooler, and I do think I should be able to get that one done by the end of the year, because I've used almost 5 grams since the last update, so I think I'm well on track to get that one done. For Q, I've got the Vanilla Quartz Skin Perfector from Becca. My goal on that one was to hit pan, which I did. It then broke and I repressed it, but I'm getting pretty close again. For R, I've got the Barron's Rose Lipstick from MAC, and my goal is to get this one down to 19.5 grams. It's currently on about 19.87 grams, which is not too bad considering I'd hardly used this much for quite a while, and then just in the last month I've used 0.05 grams because I've been remembering to reapply it. The area I'm working at the moment is a bit conducive to that, so every time I think about it I can reapply it. See how we go about hitting the goal. I'm not convinced I'm going to do it, but I could do, and I might come close. It's really going to depend what happens in the next couple of months in the cooler weather, because for me that one's a bit more of my winter colour. For S, the Super Shock eyeliner from Avon in Plumful is down to 2.68 grams. Started at 2.87 grams. Really like to get this one done by the end of the year. It's getting quite dry. Yeah, I think it's possible. If I was more prepared, I could have some vision for you. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my book where I've been marking this one. But I'm now down halfway through the O, so I'm making some good progress on that one. Sorry, there's a little bug floating around. For you, I've got the Ultra Balm, which I tend to use more as a lip balm. This is a Lush one. Currently down to 25.77 grams. Started off at 29.65 grams, so I've used almost 4 grams of this so far this year. I actually came across an empty tin and weighed it against that, and it looks like I've got about 15 grams left, which surprised me a bit because that's still a third of that. My goal was to hit the pan, which I think is still possible. I have been working it down from the sides a bit lately, but a bit like the other one, I think it's possible, and if I end up digging a bit more in the middle to try and meet that goal, I don't think I will be too far off of that one at all. For V, I've got the Viva Glam Lip Gloss in Gaga 2 from MAC, which unfortunately just fell over, so you can't really see where it settled. It's down to just under the A now in lip gloss. Currently 13.09 grams, started at 13.48 grams, so I've used 0.4 grams. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I just need to remember to reuse this one. This is another one that sits at home because I don't really like lip glosses travelling around because they get a bit mucky. As it is, this one gets a bit mucky anyway. I don't love the colour, so I tend to wear it over a red lip stain, and it gives me this sort of orangey, almost corally colour, which I actually prefer more than this, or the red that I'm putting it over. So that's mainly how I'm using it up at the moment, but you can see about where it's settling there. I've made a reasonable dent in this, but it would be really nice to have it done by the end of the year so I can move on to something else. For W, I've got the Footworks foot cream from Avon. It's currently sitting about there. So we're at 76.87 grams on this one now. Started off at basically 100.57 grams. So I have used a fair bit of this. I did use a lot more of it during summer when I tended not to always have something on my feet. Finding it a bit hard to remember now or to be motivated to take my socks off to put it on. So it's been a little bit slower over winter. I do actually have that I found a couple of Pied to Pepper foot creams from Lush, which are fairly old, which I should be using in winter now anyway. So I'm thinking that the next month or two this one might be put aside for a bit. But then I do think it would be possible that I could still get it finished anyway, provided I make good progress in the warmer months like I did at the beginning of the year. For X, I've got this Magix Face Perfector from Avon primer. I think I've mentioned before, I think I've actually hit my goal. It's just really hard to get it to settle because my goal was to get down to the A, which I think if I could get it to settle, I've already done. Haven't been using this one too much lately because I've been using a BB cream that's supposed to have a primer in it. For Y, I've got the Yuzu and Cocoa shower cream from Lush. Haven't been using it too much, it's not really the right time of year, but I have been using it. And similarly for Z, got the free shower gel from Lush. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you'll stick around and try and find my next one in about a month's time. We'll see how we go. It looks like my TAFE's about to start up again, so between that and work, that'll eat up a lot of my free time. But I will endeavour to try and do updates every 4 to 6 weeks. Just see how we go. Alrighty, thanks for watching. Bye.